Good evening, everyone. I'm Haley Potter. Thanks for joining us for tonight's edition of the Erie News Nowcast. Cleanup continues in the city of Titusville, Crawford County. Another powerful storm flooded streets and ripped down trees and power lines. Isley Gooden spent the day in Titusville with a closer look at the cleanup effort.
Titusville was hit with another round of storms causing flooding. Just 24 hours ago, the floodwater filled the streets.
And then there have been subsequent floods to that. But the one that we had this past Saturday was obviously the worst one that I'd ever seen in town.
Many residents are now trying to clean what's left behind. They're hoping the city of Titusville will step in and lend a hand. The mayor, John Crouch, took action by holding a town hall meeting surrounding the flooding.
We were in City Hall this morning laying out all the old things from previous administrations and previous ideas, and we're going to try to pull them together, some sort of diversion of the probably of Church Run or something like that, where yes, we're studying the dam as well, but there's a possibility that could be a dead end. Yeah, a lot of flooding, but we were able to put some money together last night that we're going to be passing out to our residents. By the end of today or tomorrow, we should have the exact amount set up and ready to roll. We want to be rolling this out as early as August 1st.
Katie Hubert, a lifelong resident, broke her arm as she was trying to repair the damage made to her childhood home.
Unfortunately, especially because I'm a baker and this is my money-making arm, I kind of fell when we were cleaning up all the mud because we had mud like a foot deep. It was just nasty, gross, sticks, mud, anything you can think of we found.
Wesleyan Methodist Church has experienced flooding to multiple properties. The basement of their church was filled with 3 inches of water.
Church Run was practically back to normal, and within I don't know, maybe about an hour, we had 2 inches of rain, and as I had said earlier, the water level was at the top of the channel.
They've had volunteers sweeping the parking lot and setting up dehumidifiers to clean up the mess.
I would love for Titusville to build a dam or widen the creeks or make them deeper or something. I mean, the debris gets stuck, the trees that come down through get stuck, and then it just jams it up even worse.
And the cleanup efforts aren't done just yet. The mayor will hopefully be getting funds to Titusville residents by August 1st to alleviate cleanup costs. And new tonight, a group of mosquitoes found in Harbor Creek tested positive for the West Nile virus. According to the Erie County Health Department, they set traps for mosquitoes each week all throughout the county and then test them for the West Nile virus. On July 7th, the group came back positive. According to township supervisors, they don't know where the positive mosquitoes came from, but they say they're used to this happening in years past. Experts at the health department say this is a reminder for people to be vigilant around mosquitoes and have tips on how to stay safe.
Wearing repellent to protect themselves. They could, if they know they're going to be outside, maybe set up a fan or some citronella candles nearby to try to repel the mosquitoes. And then just really getting water out of the yard is the biggest thing that you can do.
And does the recent rainfall have anything to do with all of these mosquitoes? Well, our Elspeth Meisner will have that answer tonight on Erie News Now at 11 o'clock. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court tossed a lawsuit that has implications for victims of child sexual abuse. The High Court tossed a lawsuit today by a woman seeking damages related to sexual abuse in the Catholic Church. The court says the 2-year statute of limitations for the plaintiff started in 1981, so it has run out now. An earlier court ruling had given hope to advocates and victims suing over sexual abuse in the state. That's when the plaintiff alleged that she was assaulted by a priest. The priest has denied all of these allegations. And new tonight, after waiting months, Congressman Mike Kelly received a response to inquiries about the emergency intake facility for migrant children that quickly opened and then closed in Summit Township earlier in the spring. But congressmen's view the response from the Administration for Children and Families, Health and Human Services didn't answer any of his questions. He still wants to understand why 150 young girls from the Mexican border crisis were flown in and flown right back out. The administration basically says the emergency intake site was intended as a temporary measure and it ceased operations. They transferred the children to other facilities or vetted sponsors.
Right after the receipt of our letter, they could have actually sent out what they sent to us because it's a form letter. It has nothing to do with what we asked them. It gave no details and none of the facts that we were looking for. So we've tried to get answers. Your government won't give us any clarity on this. So
The congressman said he'll keep asking these questions, and he thinks people in Western PA are still willing to help migrant children, but they want transparency. New tonight, health experts say data suggests that the Delta variant is more transmissible among young people, and that's raising a new question about schools this fall. The American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending that all children over the age of 2 wear masks when they go back to school this fall, regardless of their vaccination status. So now that we know that the AAP determined, we wanted to know how parents feel about sending their kids back to school in the fall. So we took it to the streets to talk to some parents tonight. Every parent we spoke to says they're willing to send their kids back to school in person this fall, despite the rise in cases of the Delta variant.
I just think school is just in their best interest. And again, it's parents' choice. I get it.
Definitely feel comfortable sending our kids back.
I think you have to roll with it, and the kids need to get back in school, and in the classroom setting they thrive. So.
Yeah. And although it's yet to be determined if our local school districts will require masks in schools, the American Academy of Pediatrics strongly recommends that all students do mask up because most students aren't vaccinated. I asked these parents how they felt about that. You'll hear their answers tonight on Erie News Now at 11 o'clock. New tonight, the Erie Otters have announced when the team will return to the ice at the Erie Insurance Arena for game action. The Otters will host 3 exhibition home games this September. They will host Saginaw and Flint, with the first game set for September 4th against Spirit. Fans will be allowed to attend all 3 games, and ticket information will be released here pretty soon. For the complete exhibition schedule, visit our website, erienewsnow.com. A professor from Bowling Green cycled his way through our region on a mission to support education. Dr. Chris Willis teaches at Bowling Green State University in Toledo, Ohio. He's cycling across the country, raising money for public education. The former high school math teacher started in Washington back on June 7th and made his way through Erie today. He's staying in 51 school districts during his trip and wants to donate $1,000 to each district to show appreciation for educators during the pandemic. He plans to end the trek in Bar Harbor, Maine on August 2nd.
The idea is public schools do a lot for kids and families and communities all across the country. And I was going across the country, so the 51 school districts that I'm stopping in along the way I've identified, and it's just an opportunity to say thank you to public schools, those specific ones as well as all of them across the country, just for everything they do.
When he's finished, Willis will have cycled more than 4,300 miles over the course of 57 days. He has a Facebook page set up for donations to his fundraiser. Thanks for joining us for the Erie News Nowcast. Join us for our next news at 10 p.m. on the CW and 11 p.m. on WICU and WSEE. Have a great night.